Welcome back, my nature lovers. How we all doing today? For those of you returning for another one of my videos, again, I say thank you. For those of you who are new to my channel, I want to say welcome. This is my boy Bobo. I want to say welcome. This is Skelly by Nature. I am Skelly. Here in this channel, we cover all kinds of things of nature and natural things. So things like animal and human behavior, using food to beat ailments that we have, getting off pharmaceutical meds, growing fruits and vegetables, to all kinds of other nature stuff. So today I've got kind of a weird, odd, funny little trick. Are you looking for a way of heating a small area without using electricity and using stuff that most likely you probably throw away, and it's cheaper? So today I have a neat little gadget that comes in handy in a lot of different situations. Whether you're looking to heat up a small little room, say in like a hunting cabinet or a tool shed or a shed that you might be working in. It also comes in handy if you're, say, someone like me who lives in New England. We have snowstorms, we lose our electricity. No electricity usually means no heat. So if you have this gadget set up and ready to go, you can keep yourself warm for a time being while your electricity is out. This is also something that would have made great sense for people, you know, that maybe down in the situation that happened in Texas like a year ago, where they lost electricity, they got the ice storm. If people knew about how to make one of these, that you could keep a small little room area fairly warm. It's surprisingly warm. It's cheap, and what it runs on is cheap. It costs. There's no electricity involved. And it runs solely on its own. So let's get right down to what it is that we're going to need to make this contraption. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is go to your hardware store, and you're going to find 2-foot pipe like this. It's called stove piping. What you want to do is get a 2-foot piece. The other thing that you're going to need is you're going to need 2 90-degree elbows, like this, you see right here, and you're also going to need some wicks. Okay, so I get 2 different kinds, and you'll see I've got regular candles here, and I just have standard wicks that you can buy either one of these. Sometimes you can find them at the dollar store or a craft store. Usually has these as well. They don't cost much. As far as cost, the piping right there cost $10, and these were about $8 a piece. So you're talking under $30. We're going to be able to make this whole contraption. So again, cheap. The other thing you're going to need is two small glass jars, similar to this. These are just little small glass jars. Again, you can get these with the masonry top. That you can get these at your, at stores or dollar. You find them at the dollar store. You'll find them at, your discount stores. So those are something that we're going to need. You're also going to need a drill, and you're also going to need something to be able to cut the pipe. So something like a Sawzall or a metal saw. And so let's get right down to what we're making here, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to take our 2-foot pipe, and we're going to cut it in half. Now, make sure when you cut this in half that you're down the middle, okay? Because the idea is we're going to have 2 pieces, okay? And these 2 pieces we're going to stack next to each other, so they need to be the same size. We don't want to have them offset in different heights, okay? So the second thing that we're going to do is when you got your pipe done, and if you've never worked with tin metal before, or you have, then you know to wear some gloves when you're doing this. And the reason I say that is no matter how clean or how easily the metal cuts, It does leave very sharp edges, and if you can just touch your finger on that sometimes and it will gash you right open. So wear some gloves. So once we get our pipe cut in half, the next step that we're going to do is we're going to drill some holes, and you probably can't really see them, but we're going to drill, I get 10 holes, small little holes on this side. I get 10 small little holes on this side. They're on the bottom of what's going to be our contraption, okay? And then what I do is I slip the 90-degree elbow on the top. And then I do the same for this piece over here. We drill our little holes, we put the elbow in, and again, when you're doing this, with one piece you can actually use this side as the top, which has the flange, and then when you flip it over, we're going to flip over our elbow and use the other side of the elbow where it's all crimped, okay? So now we have our two pieces like this, and what we're going to do is we're going to just take and we're going to slide these two pieces together, okay? And so now we have a contraption that looks like that, okay? Very simple. Like I said, this whole entire thing costs less than $20. So our next step that we're going to do is we're going to be heating this, and we're going to basically be heating this from down below. The heat's going to come up. Obviously, we need some way for the heat to escape. So what we're going to do is we're going to drill a bunch of small holes right in the top up here, okay? Now all along the top. Now don't go cutting where they meet together. You're going to want to cut on the next piece beside it, okay? So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so as you can see, I put a bunch of small holes in the tops of both sides. Okay, and what that's going to do is allow the heat to escape as we finish this off. So this is our basic contraption, very simple, very easy to do. Again, just be careful of the metal. If you've never worked with it, it can cut you pretty deeply, so just be careful of that. So the next thing that we're going to do is now we have our contraption made. Now, I'm one that when I do this, I actually put it up on top here in my stove. So I have cast iron that it's sitting on. The reason is what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting our heat sources down below, and that's going to be the next step. And so you're obviously not going to want to put this on, say, a hardwood floor like it's sitting on now. So use, some type of tray or something that's going to be able to absorb the heat and not catch fire. So that's just a little pre-warning. So we're going to take and we're going to put this to the side for right now because we've got our contraption made. We know it's sitting. We got the holes on the top. We got the holes on our bottom. Now the holes on the bottom is for air to be able to access our heat source. So that we got that. And we're just going to put this off to the side. Now the next step that we need to do is obviously we need our heat source, okay? And we can use many different things for our heat source. Today I'm going to show you a couple things, but one thing you can use is just a standard candle. Putting a standard candle inside will also create enough heat, and then it's brought up and it's radiated through here, and that will actually help increase the room temperature. I'm going to show you a cheap way of doing stuff. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take our empty container here that we have, and we're going to make our own cheap candles. So the way we do that is what we're going to do is we're going to take, I have a can of lard here what I do is when I do cook and I have clean lard, I like to put it in my little container, and I put it in the fridge and I freeze it. You can use you can use vegetable shortening, you can use lard, like I said, you can use a standard candle. Sometimes if you're just looking for a short little bit of time. The little the little heaters, little tea heaters that you can put underneath a tray, those work well because those do create a lot of heat. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take and we're gonna scoop out, and we're gonna fill this jar right up, okay? And we're gonna fill it up with the lard, and we're gonna put it in. Now make sure you pack this down. We're trying to eliminate any air pockets, things like that. And so we're going to try to fit in as much as we can in here and pack it right down nice and good. Okay. So now we have our candle, our heat source, okay? So once you finish this, the next thing that you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna take this and throw this in the microwave. Everyone's microwave is different, so whatever time it takes to melt this down a little bit, you wanna get it melted down. So then what we're gonna do is let it melt down, kind of push out any air that's still left in here, and then we're gonna fill it back up again, full. And then what we're gonna do is, so like I said, microwave it, then fill it back up again, and then put it in your fridge and let it sit in your fridge for a half hour, an hour or so. And what happens is when that's done, it should be all hard, and it should be, no air pockets left in there. And then the next step that we're going to do is we're going to take now we need a wick, okay? And so you can do multiple things. Like I said, they have preset wicks like this. They come in different sizes, and you can just measure whatever size you need, cut it. Another thing that you can do is, like I said, you can go to the dollar store, and the dollar store has these packs, or our dollar store has these packs of, they're 36 really cheesy, cheap kind of candles. I like them because they actually fit perfectly in my container. So as you can see, I've done one of these already. I don't know if you can see, but you can see it's kind of liquid on the bottom. And then I closed the top and I froze it, and then I stuck the candle right inside. Okay, so see how the candle's sitting right inside like that? And the nice thing about using like these mason jars is, say you're done, and you want to, say, shut the heat off, you can just cover it up and like any other store-bought candle and save it for later. So that's a good little thing. So like I said, we're going to have this wick, okay? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to have two of them. So, okay, so as you can see, I just grabbed the candle that we just made earlier in the video. And as you can see, I've got it full and it's all hard. And so like I said, the next step we do is we need to put our wick in. So again, I'm going to use a candle. And I take my candle, I just drive it right down the middle. Okay, now as you can see, I have the candle just barely sticking out the top. Okay, so now we have our two candles and we have our contraption made. Okay, so the next step is we're just going to light the candles. Like so. Okay. And now I'm going to put my candles up here. Now, like I said, if you don't have something to put it on in a safe spot, you're going to want to put it on a tray or something like that. And then our next step is we just put this right on top of our candles. And we're just going to go like that. Now, what's going to happen is those candles are going to stay, and they're going to heat this all up, and the heat's going to come out the top up here. Now, I have two extra things that I have. As you can see, I got this little fan right here, and this is a fan that, again, runs no electricity, okay? What happens is the heat off the pipe will heat these fins up, and these fins will create some electricity, and the fan will start to spin once it hits a certain temperature. So I do that as one thing, and that helps disperse some of that heat out into my room a little bit. And the other thing I do too that I like is have a pot of water. Okay, and I just stick a pot of water next to it. It slowly evaporates into the air, and the moisture in the air will keep the room a little bit on the warmer side as well. So, that there is the lovely contraption. Like I said, they're great for, you know, if you have a hunting cabin that you know, you just want to run a little heat and you don't need to heat it up too much. It helps in an emergency situation, like I said, with snow. Many, you know, if say on a fall day when it's, you know, just a little bit nippy and you want to keep it a little on the warmer side around you. Or what I use it for is when it's not quite cold enough outside to, say, run my stove, but it's not warm enough, you know, and I just want to kind of break that chill in the air in my room. I'll run this for a couple hours and then things will be fine. So again, I hope this is something you enjoyed. I hope it's something that you might even use. Like I said, even having this contraption, making one and having one just ready is good, because especially if you live in a cold area like me, you know, if we ever lose electricity and you don't have another source, you know, if I lose electricity, I do have my wood-burning stove that I love to use. But if you don't, this is a great little contraption that you can use. You stick it in a little room, it'll keep, you'll be surprised at the amount of heat this thing kicks off. So, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do me a favor, hit that like button down below. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, please do that as well. And share this video. There's many people out there that don't know about this simple little trick. This little gadget can save a life. You never know. So share it with people that you know that might be able to use something like this. And till the next video, be beautiful, be awesome.